welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm not going to show my face because I quite frankly don't feel like getting dressed for the camera or anything like that. So just a voiceover for this one, but I wanted to show the process of how I made the cool intro that you just saw 2 seconds ago because I'm pretty stoked about it and I put a lot of work into it. So I guess here's the process of how I made this happen. I wanted to do a bunch of different styles of myself and mainly 90s cartoon stuff, but this one I really wanted to do is the style of the album art. Where the song in the intro and outro is from. The album is called By Now by EYELINER, aka Disaster Radio. He was kind enough to give me permission to use the music for the intro and outro of my videos. He said it was totally cool, so I was really excited because I was looking for something that fit the vibe of that song for the longest time. Wasn't able to find it, so here I've replicated the album art in my own style and made some cool wiggly noodle things in Apple Motion to match. Next up, and I know I'm blazing through all these because there's quite a few of them, but next one I wanted to do was Wild Thornberries. I actually did a Rugrats one, which you'll see at the very tail end of the video. I didn't complete it, but I thought doing Wild Thornberries would be better because I already have Rugrats for like the intro animation with the title card, so I was like, I'll pick a different classic Kupo thing. And the backgrounds in the show are actually really beautiful. They get a lot of flack for having weird looking characters, and I agree, but the backgrounds in Wild Thornberries are actually legit, so I was kind of having fun designing this particular background for this art. And I think this one turned out pretty good. In the future I might animate it with some birds in the background and her smiling or something like that, but I think it looks good. Next up is Doug. I was never like a huge fan of this show, but I always thought the art style was really cute. So this one's really quick, by the way. It did not take very much time at all to make, so the Procreate video is very short, but I think it's cute. Next up is Steven Universe, and I wanted to do me as like a human of Beach City because everybody does gemstonas. I might do a gemstone in the future. But anyway, so in the intro, the frame that held the longest was the one that was the style of the album art, but in future videos I definitely want to do a Steven Universe fan art video, so I might hold that frame longer and I'll actually animate these sparkles and stuff to bring it more to life when I use it in a future video, but for now I'm just using it as a static image because it's only on screen in the intro for like a fraction of a second, so it's static for now, but it will be animated in the future along with a lot of these other ones that I show in the video. And again, I might do a gemstone in the future, but I kind of like this like human Beach City character style too. Next is Ed, Edd and Eddy, and I never watched a ton of this show growing up to be honest, but I thought the style was always really cool, and I wanted to do some quick little wiggly effect animation since when I timed out the intro I knew this one would be held, or one of the pictures would be held for longer than the others, so I think doing a little bit of animation helped bring it to life instead of just doing all static images for the intro. And my boyfriend helped a little bit. You just saw like pink red lines a second ago. I kind of took his feedback and mixed it with what I was already doing to make it a little more accurate to the show. And I think this one turned out really cute and fun, and I think the wiggle effect is pretty convincing. It's not totally accurate to how they do it on the show, but I think it kind of sells it. I just drew the image 3 times, making the lines slightly different each time to achieve that little wiggly line effect. Next up is Powerpuff Girls. This is a pretty cute and simple art style to achieve, and I really loved this show growing up. I always loved that pink and sparkle background and the reference in the bottom right from the episode where they have like the boys or whatever, the little pink and sparkle look, so I just used that color for this one. Pretty simple, straightforward, and here's the final result. Next up's King of the Hill. I love this show, and it was interesting to draw in this style because it's basically just like realistic but a little bit of a cartoony style to it. Like it's a very, I don't know how else to put it, dry style, very kind of flat and dry but on purpose, and it brings a lot of character to the look. So I used the reference of the sketch I had underneath and then kind of copied it but made it a little more flat and cut out-y the way that the style of the show is, and copied that iconic suburban house, fence, and tree background from the intro to make it very recognizable instantly as King of the Hill. And I actually really like how this one turned out. I think it's really fun. And it may not be as flattering as like the Disney princess portrayal of me, but it's a little bit more accurate to be honest, so I'm okay with it. It's a little more accurate to real life in all honesty. Next up is Ariel the Little Mermaid. Me in the style basically just looks like Ariel's sister or something. It's not that much different than Ariel, but doesn't everybody want to draw themselves as a really flattering Disney princess once in a while? There's a few things changed, obviously the earrings, and I changed the hair a little bit, and the hair's a little bit darker red. Totally an original character, guys, do not steal, but I think it gets the concept across. Anyhow, I recreated the background, but I left the windows of the bar. You'll see the bars on the windows I didn't add for this background. I did everything else to recreate it, but I wanted the backgrounds to feel kind of like wide and open, and I don't know, so I made the choice to not add the window bars on this particular one. And this video is the longest because it took the longest to make in Procreate, so I get a little bit of breathing room to talk about things. So I know these are going rapid fire, but I'm losing my voice slowly and I gotta get this video made, so yeah, I actually had a lot of fun making this one because I haven't tried to draw like a Disney princess with the thin lines and the very specific proportions of faces and all that kind of stuff, like borderline just hipster Ariel with the glasses, but you know what, I think it looks good, so I'm happy with it. Next up is Invader Zim, and I definitely want to animate this one at some point soon because the Invader Zim movie is coming to Netflix and I would love to do like a review of it. And I also want to do a video where I'm redrawing some very old Invader Zim fan art that I have on my computer from like 2002 or something like that when I was like 12. I loved Invader Zim growing up so much it was almost embarrassing. So I definitely want to give this one a little bit more love and animate it in the future and do something fun with it, but for the purposes of this intro I just made it a static image because again you only see it for like a fraction of a second. There wasn't any purpose in really animating this one for this video, so I definitely want to bring this one to life and do some really fun, funky stuff with it for a couple upcoming videos very soon. Next up's Hey Arnold. I love this show. I still think it's one of Nickelodeon's best shows, most memorable shows, and I love those, like, I don't know what they are, pastel, watercolor, colored pencil backgrounds that give you just that warm, fuzzy feeling along with the great music in the show. It's just, oh, it's so great. So I wanted to make myself as, like, one of the kids that would go to school with all the rest of the characters and do that sky background from the opening with that nice painted kind of sketched look. This one was pretty simple to make, but I actually really like this one. It's one of my favorites of all of them. Next up was I just wanted to make myself made out of like a Play-Doh look because it's kind of like fun and funky and nostalgic, and I downloaded a Photoshop toolset that allows me to do that. It was really rapid, quick Procreate video, so not much to say about this one. It's cute. Really quickly, I just remade that Class Key Kupo intro. Not much to say about this one. I just did all the videos and effects in Final Cut, and it looks like this.
Dear God, what is that thing?
And as a bonus, here's some really quick styles I didn't finish fully for the intro. Neopets Fairy. I might want to redo this one. I'm not sure. I don't know what kind of style glasses to use, and I'll work on it. I'll workshop it. Next was the Sailor Moon one I didn't really finish. I don't know. I'm not really good at like the anime look, so again, I'll probably just like refine this one and make it cuter in the future to make it fit the style better, improve on it. I very quickly did an Animal Crossing sketch and decided I wanted to give it more love, so I'm going to put that on hold and do a better one in the future for upcoming videos. And then Simpsons I didn't really use because I never watched a ton of it growing up. I know, shock and horror, I never watched it growing up, so I felt kind of weird putting it in the intro if it wasn't really a huge part of my life. And then Rugrats I scrapped because I already have the Rugrats intro and I already have a Wild Thornberries thing, so I didn't think it was necessary. I know this is a super rapid fire video, just trying to get it done before my voice goes out. Thank you again to Disaster Radio for letting me use Toy Dog. It's an amazing song, amazing album. Check it out, link in the description below. You can follow me on all my links in the description below and subscribe for more art. Thank you guys for watching and have an amazing day.